So after we decided, not we decided at once, but after we came to the idea of motivating our students with the pure joy of knowledge, we should discuss what kind of knowledge can we give them and how can we structure this knowledge. For this, it's important to know how our brain works. So, number one is categorization. We try to categorize everything that we remember, and if we want to put something from short-term memory into a long-term memory, we will see that the best way to put it into the memory is to put it into a category. For example, like when we talk about, when we see somebody, we will always put him or her into a category. Like, she's a girl, he's a boy, this is a woman, this is a middle-aged woman, this is a woman with gray hair, and so on and so forth. So we categorize, and this is the primary activity of our brain. This brings us to a very important conclusion here. If we categorize the vocabulary, if we categorize grammar, if we categorize language material, it will be learned much better than if we don't categorize it. And another important moment after we understand how to categorize is to understand how much it will take for our brain to learn all these categories. Here it is important to remember about the stages of learning. Stages of learning were developed by a Russian scientist, Mykola Karpenko, and he said that no matter how hard we try to teach our kids, we should remember that the brain goes through the stages. And the first stage is called impressing. At this stage, our brain only remembers like the contour of something, the general idea of something. That is why when we try to give the material, we always impress our students with a map, which may be called a concept map or a mind map, but this map contains several categories and is dedicated to one concept. For example, clothing, or food, or animals, or furniture. Yeah? So we impress with the map that contains categories. Then the memorization stage comes. And at this stage, our brain will find the details of the map. So at this stage, the map becomes more relevant for the brain. And here we can play games not only with the map, we can do exercises in a book, we can play with cards, and we can do everything to make this map more relevant for the brain. So then, after that, we go to initiation stage. At this stage, no matter how hard we try, our brain or our student's brain will get rid of something. So students will never remember the map, like the whole map. And finally, the brain will authorize. Will authorize this knowledge. So at the authorization stage, the brain will remember the map well. All categories will be carefully stocked into your brain, and that is how you will be able to extract words easily, and that is how your memory solidifies, and there is a big number of categories that are interrelated, and that is how our brain works.